This is the Mohawk Hockey Talk podcast. I am Joe Malone. Joining me from the John Lloyd locker room, we have head coach of the Mohawk Hockey Club, Brad Bissig. Thanks for being here.
Joe, thank you.
Let's start with this. We haven't had a chance to talk for about 2 weeks. I-35 Cup win. The Cup comes back to Mason City. This was a couple of Wednesdays ago in Ames. How exciting was that for the Mohawks?
Yeah, super excited. That game is one that's always circled on the calendar. These senior boys kind of instilled that early on in some of the younger guys. You don't really know what it's like until you actually get to the game. But, yeah, super proud of the way the boys played and came out to play that night.
Yeah, both JV and varsity picking up wins down there.
Yeah, JV continued a win streak there, 2 games in a row at that point. And varsity got on a little win streak there going on, and they both played well.
Now, let's talk about this past weekend. It was a split for both varsity and JV against the Quad City team. Saturday was a 5-2 loss. We'll start with varsity here. Sam Fabian scores 18 seconds into the first. You had to be feeling good there.
Yeah, Sam is, what can I say about him? 6'5", 200 pounds, can do about whatever he wants with the puck when he wants to. And when you get him moving like that, good things are bound to happen, and if you can get him going early, it could be a long night.
Now, it was a long second period for the Mohawks as Quad City would score 4 goals, 2 of them on the power play. What changed in between the first when the Mohawks had the lead and then the second where things definitely didn't go the Mohawks' way?
Yeah, I think you get off to that hot start and things go well, and people get kind of relaxed a little bit. Maybe coming into the first period 1-1 tie, I think we played well. We thought we dominated the first period, controlled the pace and did all that thing. Coming out in the second period, I think we just kind of got a little bit relaxed. We got away from doing the little things. We were losing races to pucks. We weren't getting very many shots on net, so no rebounds. We kind of got outworked.
How important is it to have a game like you did on Sunday following a loss, a game where you had an early lead, and then Sunday you come back and win 3-1, showing that, you know what, that second period, that wasn't us. That's not who we want to be.
Yeah, I really challenged the boys Saturday night. I know we didn't put our best foot forward, and I think there were a lot of people that were disappointed Saturday night. So I really challenged them coming the next day to be ready to play. I changed up the lines a little bit, had a few mixtures going on, tried to spread things out a little bit to see what would happen, and obviously by the results on the scoreboard, it kind of worked.
Yeah, it was the Sam Butler show in the first period with 2 goals, helping the Mohawks end that first period up 2-1.
Yeah, Sam Butler's another one of them senior guys for us that once we get him going, he's another guy that can put the puck in the back of the net. Sometimes he lacks a little bit of confidence in his own ability, but we try to just keep him going and keep him putting the pucks on net because he does have a really good skill set to his game and plays well.
We'll talk about Max Lang. Had his first goal, I believe, as a varsity player for the Mohawks 5 minutes into the second. Is he a freshman? Is he a sophomore?
Max is a freshman coming in this year, and size doesn't always tell it all, as we say nowadays with hockey, and Max is probably one of the smallest guys in the league. But his heart is as big as some of the biggest guys in the league, and he plays with a sense of urgency. He got a chance to play with Sam Butler and Jacob Miller, 2 upperclassmen this year, 2 guys that he's really looked up to as role models growing up through his whole career, and he made the most of it. He had an assist on one of Sam Butler's goals in the first period, and then found himself on the back door on the other end of a Jacob Miller pass and pounded it home.
Well, good thing he didn't try and go for the Gordie Howe hat trick.
Yeah. Max is he is feisty like that, and I wouldn't put it past him. But yeah, he plays well. He plays with his heart. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's a good kid in the locker room.
One more thing about Sunday's win, and this may be the most impressive part here. Chandler Radcliffe, 39 saves in that game.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Excellent performance by him. We gave up a lot of shots. That's what that means. And he continues to impress me. I mean, I think at the beginning of the year, there was a few bumps in the road the first weekend. I think some nerves coming in, and some talks were had after that. We talked with about a few things, and he's really pushed the pace the last couple of weeks and stepped into a really good spot.
I'm guessing you'd much rather have him be like 12 of 13 instead of 39 of 40.
Yeah, he might tell you otherwise. He wants to help.
He wants to be busy.
He wants to help them stats go back up the other way, so that's one way to do it. But like I said, the puck is not going in the net. He's seeing it well. He's doing his job. He's helping out his teammates, and he's doing his job.
Now, let's talk a little JV. Saturday, it was a shootout win, scoreless regulation, scoreless overtime, and then Jackson Bothwell and Emmett Riley pick up 2 goals in the shootout to win the game. Kind of an interesting one with no goals and then going to the shootout like that.
Yeah, and 2 evenly matched teams, I would say. Their Quad Cities was 4-4 coming in, and, we're 7-3. I mean, they're kind of one of them teams that could be in there in the top 6 at the end of the year, and we talked about that. And our boys kind of came out and they kind of gave us a little bit more than what we thought that we were going to get into, but we held our own. Obviously, we couldn't get any offense going really as well as they couldn't. A real goaltender battle, if you would say. And when it comes down to a shootout, it's 1-on-1, and as in Des Moines a couple weeks ago, we had to go 12 rounds, and this week we kind of got it done in 3, so it's kind of a little easier on myself as a coach. But like you say, Jackson made a nice move on the goalie, tried to go for a poke check, and he put it in. And then Emmett Riley is the sophomore captain of the JV team, as I call him, good leader of the group, came down, made a nice move, and sealed the deal for us.
Is that fun for the players, or are they nervous going out to do a shootout? Because, I mean, it's all eyes on you.
I don't know if I have a correct answer to that from their standpoint. When I was a player, I didn't want to be in a shootout because of that, because I wasn't the best with my hands. But some guys cherish that moment, and they want to be out there in that situation, and other guys kind of don't, but they are made for it. You just kind of got to put them into it and see what happens.
JV would go on to a 2-0 loss on Sunday against Quad City. So again, split for both the varsity and JV teams. Now, this weekend, the Mohawks were to travel to Cedar Rapids and play a set of games, but due to circumstances, that series has been postponed.
Yeah, we kind of had a little bug come through the locker room here. So Brandon Keeling, the manager, and myself decided to kind of shut things down here for the week and get a hold of Cedar Rapids so we didn't have any more problems. We want to kind of catch it before we can. There's only a few guys, but it's better a few guys than the whole team. Got to kind of look out for safety as the number one issue when you come to this. The health and the bodies of our players is number one concern in this situation. So we'll try to get back to work next Monday. We'll kind of reevaluate things over the weekend and talk to players and see how people are feeling, and then hopefully get back at it on Monday for the weekend ahead of us in Fremont.
You go back 3 years ago, this might be something that you just try and power through, but knowing what we know now over the past 2 years, no matter what kind of illness it is, it's much more in the forefront of your mind to let's just make sure everybody's healthy.
Yeah, I think that, maybe is the good thing that happened with the pandemic. And I think it kind of raises everybody's awareness in the health and the well-being of your body and how you can catch things and spread it to other people. These guys do really care for each other, so they do try to stay home when they're sick. They try to keep it positive. They try to let everybody know what's going on, who they've been around. We've been doing a really good job, but like I said, I think us shutting down was for the best for the whole group and in order to keep us going in the long run.
The hope is to be able to get that series rescheduled for later on in the season. Head coach of the Mason City Mohawks, Brad Bissig, thanks so much.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate it.